This is the video for page 381, 24 to 48. And I'm going to do 23 to 47. Okay. All right. Okay, so normally in this situation you would find your LCD, which would be 12x, multiply it by each piece. But if you have a fraction on one side and a fraction on the other, just cross multiply like this. So you would end up with 20x is equal to 60. Divide both sides by 20. You get x is equal to 3. Put 3 back into your denominator, make sure it's okay. It is. So x equals 3 is your solution. And I checked it because I plugged it back in. Okay. Now here we need to make everything a fraction. So my LCD is just going to be a, and that gets multiplied by every piece. And it actually only cancels in this one. So what you're left with is a, or 1a, minus 4 is equal to 5a. So then you're going to subtract a from both sides. You get negative 4 equals 4a. Divide both sides by 4. And you get a is equal to negative 1. Now, if I put negative 1 in for a, is that going to give me 0 on the denominator? No, it's not. So this one's checked, and you're good. All right, let's make this a fraction. And my LCD is just going to be x. You need this represented, and this represented. So I'm good with just x. So x goes here, and x goes here. Put parentheses around things if it doesn't already have it. This x and this x cancel. This x and this x cancel. So you're left with x squared plus 5 minus 5. I don't know where I got 5 from. Minus x, because it's 1 times x, equals 5 times x plus 1. So distribute, and I'm going to write, on the left side, I'm going to write this in order. X squared minus x plus 5, just in case we have to factor, equals 5x plus 5. I'm going to subtract 5 from both sides, because remember, in order to factor, you have to get everything set equal to 0. So I'm going to subtract 5x from both sides, and you get x squared minus 6x is equal to 0. In order to factor that, you're just going to factor out an x, leaving you x minus 6 is equal to 0. So then your answers are going to be x equals 0, and x minus 6 equals 0. Add 6 to both sides. Move this up a little. You get x equals 6. So my answers are 6 and 0. So looking at my denominators up here, if I plug in a 0 in here, I get a 0 in the denominator. So 0 is not one of the answers. Okay? That's a no-no. But x equals 6, if I plug 6 in here, I'm okay. So your answer is just x equals 6. Have to, don't always work. All right. First things first, I'm going to put parentheses around things. Here I can factor out a 3x, leaving behind an x plus 1. Remember, it must be in simplest form before you can find your LCD. So I need a 2x. I need an x plus 1. I need a 3x. I already have an x, but I only have a 2. So we need to change that 2 to a 6, because that represents the 2 and the 3. And you already have an x, and you already have an x plus 1. So your LCD is 6x times x plus 1. So that gets multiplied plus 1. That gets multiplied by every piece. Okay? So here you'll notice the x's cancel, and this 6 over 2 just becomes 3 up here. Here your x plus 1's cancel. Here your x plus 1's cancel. Your x's cancel, and 6 over 3 just becomes 2. So let's see what we've got left. Here we've got a 3, an x plus 1, and a 1 left. So you're left with 3 times x plus 1 minus, here you have 1 and 6x, so minus 6x equals, and then here you've got a 2 and a 1, so you just have 2. So distribute your 3. 3x plus 3 minus 6x equals 2. 3x minus 6x is negative 3x plus 3 is equal to 2. Subtract 3 from both sides. You get negative 3x equals negative 1. Divide both sides by negative 3, and you get x is equal to 1/3. So plug that in. If I put a 1/3 in here, I end up with 2/3. That's fine. If I put 1/3 in here, I get 1 and 1/3. That's fine. If I put it in here, I get 1 and 1/3 times 1, which is fine. So this is an answer, and we checked it. Okay. Go ahead and put 0 over 1. So your LCD, I need an x, I need a 25, and I need a 1, which I've already got. So multiply 25x times each piece. Okay. Here the 25's cancel. Here the x's cancel. And in the last part, nothing cancels. So you're left with 25 times 1, which is just 25, minus x times x, which is x squared, equals, oh, just kidding. Oh my goodness. There we go. Oh, of course. I can't get it to erase. Ugh. 25x times 0 is just 0. So you have x squared, negative x squared, plus 25 is equal to 0. So subtract 25 from both sides. You get negative x squared is equal to negative 25. Divide both sides by negative 1. You get x squared is equal to 25. Square root both sides. Now remember the rule. If you write your own square root, it has to be plus or minus. So your solutions are positive and negative 5. Now if I plug those in up here, it will never give me 0. So I've checked it, and I'm good to move on. Alright, put this over 1 and put parentheses around these. So my LCD is 2y minus 5. And that's what's getting multiplied times each piece. Okay, these cancel and these cancel. So you're left with 5 times 2y minus 5 minus 2 equals 3. Distribute. You get 10y minus 25 minus 2 equals 3. Combine like terms. 10y minus 27 equals 3. Add 27 to both sides. You get 10y is equal to 30. Divide both sides by 10, and you get y is equal to 3. Now looking back up here, if I put a 3 in here, 2 times 3 is 6, minus 5 is 1, so I'm okay. That is a solution, and I checked it. Okay, you have two options here. Because it's fraction on either side of the fraction, you can just cross multiply. So put parentheses around these, and then cross multiply. So 2 times x plus 2 is equal to 3 times x minus 1. You can find the LCD and do it that way, but this way is easier. So you have 2x plus 4 is equal to 3x minus 3. Subtract 2x from both sides. You get 4 is equal to x. I don't know why I crossed those out. X minus 3. Add 3 to both sides. You get 7 is equal to x. Take 7 and plug it back in. 7 plus 2 is 9, and you won't do anything there. So you're okay. It does work. Your answer is 7. Okay. Now this one does look like you could cross multiply. But if you cross multiply, you have to multiply these two together, which is you're going to have to FOIL or double distribute. And this one will actually be easier finding the LCD. Because you'll notice the LCD is x plus 2. And if I multiply x plus 2 times each piece, they just go away. So the LCD is actually easier in this case, and you end up with x plus 3 equals 1. Subtract 3 from both sides, and you get x equals negative 2. If I plug negative 2 in for x, what do I get? Negative 2 plus 2 is 0. So this is not a solution. No, 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 no. Okay? So what is your answer? No solution. Okay? Or the no solution symbol. All right. First thing you have to do here is put these in parentheses. And this is difference of squares, guys. Hopefully you recognize that by now. A plus 3, A minus 3. So your LCD is A plus 3 times A minus 3, right? Multiply that times each piece. All right, see what cancels. Your A minus 3's cancel, your A plus 3's cancel, and in this one, they both cancel. So in the first fraction, all you're left with is 1 times A plus 3, plus, in the second fraction, 2 times A minus 3, and on the other side of the equal sign, you just have 1 left over. So distribute. This ends up just being A plus 3 plus 2A minus 6 equals 1. Combine like terms, so you get 3A minus 3 is equal to 1. Add 3 to both sides, you get 3A is equal to 4. Divide both sides by 3, you get A is 4/3. Okay? 4/3 minus 3 is not 0, and 4/3 plus 3 is not 0. So you're okay. That is your solution, and we checked it. All right, first things first, put this over 1. This is difference of squares, x plus 4, x minus 4, and put parentheses around this. So your LCD is x plus 4, x minus 4. And that is what's going to be multiplied by each piece. I'm running out of room here. Okay. So this cancels this cancels this. In the second piece, nothing cancels. And in the third piece, just the minuses cancel. So you're left with 64 plus x plus 4 times x minus 4 is equal to 2x times x plus 4. Okay, so 64 stays the same. Plus, if I distribute these, I get x squared plus, minus 4x plus 4x minus 16 is equal to, distribute here, you get 2x squared plus 8x. All right, so combine like terms. Negative 4x plus 4x cancel each other out. 64 minus 16, and x squared is by itself. So I'm going to write them in order. X squared, and then 64 minus 16 is what? 48? Yep. So plus 48 equals 2x squared plus 8x. Now we're going to move these over here so it's equal to 0 so I can factor it if I need to. Actually, I lied. I'm going to move these over here to keep my x squareds positive. So subtract x squared from both sides. You get 48 is equal to x squared plus 8x. Then you subtract 48 from both sides, and you end up with 0 is equal to x squared plus 8x minus 48. So now you want to factor these. So you have an x and an x, a plus and a minus, factors of 48 that could give you 8. 12 and 4, yep. So now you have, remember what I said in class, check these to see if they're up here. Look, x minus 4 is up here. So x minus 4 probably isn't going to work. So I've got x plus 12 equals 0. Subtract 12 from both sides, you get x equals negative 12. And then x minus 4 equals 0. Add 4 to both sides, you get x equals 4. So we need to check 4 and negative 12. So if I put a 4 in here, 4 minus 4 is 0, or here, 4 minus 4 is 0. Now, so we know, if I go back up, 4 does not work. Okay? But let's look into negative 12. If I put a negative 12 in here, that just gives me negative 8. Here, it just gives me 8, so we're okay. So negative 12 is a good answer, and we checked it. Problem was messy. All right, put everything over 1 and put parentheses around your binomials. So your LCD is 4y plus 1. That gets multiplied by everything. Okay, so these cancel, leaving you negative 15 plus 4 times 4y plus 1 is equal to y times 4y plus 1. All right, distribute. You get negative 15 plus 16y plus 4 is equal to 4y squared plus y. Combine like terms. So you have 16y minus 11, because negative 15 plus 4 is negative 11, is equal to 4y squared plus y. So I'm going to move these over to the right side, because I want to keep that y squared positive. And so I get negative 11 is equal to 4y squared minus 15y. And then I'm going to add 11 to both sides. So you end up with 4y squared minus 15y plus 11 is equal to 0. Okay, so you're going to have to factor. So both houses get a 4y. Your sign is minus minus. And factors of 44 that give you 15 are 11 and 4. Okay. This house has a 4 in common, so this becomes 4y minus 11, and y minus 1 is equal to 0. Let's see if either of those exist up here. 4y minus 11, no. Y minus 1, no. Okay, so it looks like both our answers are going to work, but let's just make sure. So we have 4y minus 11 equals 0, and y minus 1 equals 0. So on this one, I'm going to add 11 to both sides. So I get 4y equals 11. Divide by 4, and I get y equals 11 fourths. Then over here, I get y equals 1. So let's check 1, and then let's check 11 fourths and see. This is my only denominator with a variable. If I put a 1 in here, I get 4 plus 1, which is 5. If I put 11 fourths in here, the 4's cancel, and I get 11 plus 1 is 12. So it turns out that both of my answers are okay. 11 fourths and 1. Okay, so you would write them like this. It's a solution set. Okay? All right. First things first, deal with difference of squares. So your LCD is x plus 3 times x minus 3. And that's going to get multiplied times every piece. Okay, so your x plus 3's cancel, your x minus 3's cancel. I didn't put parentheses around there. Shame on me. X minus 3's cancel, and your x plus 3's cancel. So you're left with 28 plus 2x times x plus 3 plus 6 times x minus 3. distribute. So you get 28 plus 2x squared plus 6x plus 6x minus 18. Okay, combine like terms and write things in order. So you have like terms here and here, JK, here and here, and you have like terms here and here. I know you guys enjoy my color coding. So let's write them in order. 2x squared doesn't have a partner. And then 6x plus 6x is 12x. And then 28 minus 18 is 10. So please excuse me that I forgot the equals 0. Holy crap, I should be fired from my teaching job. That's a big, important thing. Okay, so here, you can factor out a 2, leaving x squared plus 6x plus 5 is equal to 0. Divide both sides by 2, and you're left with x squared plus 6x plus 5 is equal to 0. Now you want to factor this. So you want x plus plus, factors of 5 that give me 6 are 5 and 1. So let's look and see if we have x plus 5 or x plus 1 up here. We don't in either of our denominators, so we probably are okay with both of these. But let's just make sure. So subtract 5 from both sides, you get x equals negative 5. Subtract 1 from both sides, you get x equals negative 1. So let's go back up here. If I put, what is it? Negative 5, negative 1. If I put a negative 5 in here, I get negative 8. If I put a negative 5 in here, I get negative 2. Same with both of these. If I put a negative 1 in here, I get negative 4. If I put a negative 1 in here, I get 2. Same as here. So I checked both of them. They're both okay. We checked them both. Check, check. And so if you wanted to write them as a solution set, you could say negative 5, negative 1. Okay? All right, last one. First thing you're going to have to do is factor this piece here, which is going to give me x and x plus and plus, factors of 10 that give you 7, 5 and 2. Okay? So I need to write my LCD. Oh, holy goodness, what do I got going on here? 3x plus 6. I can factor a 3 out of that, can't I? Leaving me an x plus 2. So be careful. You always have to put them in simplest form. So my LCD is going to be x plus 5 times x plus 2 and a 3. So I've got x plus 5, I've got x plus 2, I've got a 3, I've got an x plus 2, I've got an x plus 5. So we're good. Put parentheses around this. This gets multiplied by each piece. So 3 times x plus 5 times x plus 2. 3 times x plus 5 times x plus 2. 3 times x plus 5 times x plus 2. Okay, let's see what cancels. Your x plus 5s and your x plus 2s cancel here. Your 3 cancels and your x plus 2s. And here just your x plus 5s cancel. So what we have left is 3 times x plus 2 is equal to x plus 5 minus 1 times 3 is 3 times x plus 2. Be very careful not to skip this step, or you probably would distribute a 3 to this and not a negative 3. It needs to be a negative 3. Distribute here and here. So you have 3x plus 6 is equal to x plus 5 minus 3x minus 6. So you can combine like terms over here. So you get 3x plus 6 is equal to x minus 3x is negative 2x. 5 minus 6 is negative 1. I'm going to add 2x to both sides because I want to keep my x's positive. So I get 5x plus 6 is equal to negative 1. I'm going to subtract 6 from both sides. So you get 5x equals negative 7. Divide both sides by 5. And you get x equals 7/5. negative 7/5. Okay? So let's go up and see if that's going to work out. Negative 7/5. Negative 7/5 plus 5, not 0. Negative 7/5 plus 2, not 0. Same here, same here. We are good. So we can go ahead and circle that baby. Check it off, and we are done with this homework assignment. You guys have a good night, and I will see you tomorrow.